So when you're designing and planning your IB psychology course, one of the major challenges are the 6 concepts. We think, how do we fit these in? How do we prepare students for these in an exam question when it seems, there's almost, it's apparent infinite number of combinations of the 6 concepts with the different essay questions. And so where do we teach it? And in this video, I want to explain how I've gone about it. And so you can see if you like it, you can take some ideas, hopefully they might help. Ignore the ones you think are rubbish. But anyway, my first bit of advice is I would focus on the content first. I think build your course around the content, not the concepts. I think it'll be much better for it. And after all, right, our students signed up to take psychology. They want to learn about themselves, other people, their brains, their bodies. They didn't sign up to learn about measurement, causality, perspective, and bias. When I think about the concepts, that scene from Ratatouille always comes into mind with the chef, and he's like, they're over here, they're over here.
And now he wants me to see it everywhere. Ooh, ooh, it's here. No, it isn't, it's here. Am I seeing things? Am I crazy?
It can literally connect in so many different ways because they're so abstract. They're just one word, bias. Well, we can connect that to anything. And so I'll come back to later why that's relevant and important. But first of all, I think build your course around the content. Now, my second bit of advice, I still think we need to teach research. Now, of course, students need to understand research methods in paper 2, the practicals and the unseen study. Paper 3 is all research and data interpretation and research methods. I think it's really valuable for the paper 1 essays, and not to death, but simply to be able to explain how a correlational study or an experiment or a meta-analysis could be used to study a topic is really valuable for an essay. And one reason is it makes it easier to explain the concepts. And when we look at the IB Psychology Guide, those terms that they give for each of the 6 concepts, most of them, if not all, they're all about research methods. So I think we still have to have a focus on the research in our content, right? So if we're teaching about depression or we're teaching about mental health problems, we're saying, well, here is the explanation. The second question in psychology is so important. Well, how do we know? How do we know that? Right? And so that's where we get the research. Well, we can do correlational studies, meta-analyses, experiments. So still think we have to build that into the course. Right, but we haven't got to actually learning about the concepts yet. So the first thing I've done, made sense to me to build these as critical thinking extensions in each of my lessons. All right, so for those of you, if you're familiar with the way I write my textbooks and, I do it lesson by lesson, it just makes sense for me to do it that way. And so for each lesson, I need a critical thinking extension for the fast finishers, right? To differentiate. They understand the content, they've done the task, they've shown me, all right, I understand that. Now what do I do, sir? Here you go, right? So now you can drip feed in the concepts. And also what I've done, I chose, instead of just having a random concept at the end of each lesson, I chose one concept for each chapter, one concept for each unit. So depression, the concept is bias. And the idea behind that, the rationale, is that we're going to reduce the cognitive load. Hopefully, those fast finishers that aim for 7s to write excellent essays, they're going to be seeing connections with each lesson. Oh, bias, researcher bias, I did that. Oh, here's another bias, here's another bias. I just, in my OCD, over-organized brain, it made sense to have one focus concept per unit. Anyway, so that's how critical thinking extension and one per unit. And again, remember, there's no point, let's say we're doing a lesson on SSRIs. Okay, what's the point in asking a student to discuss a concept in relation to SSRIs if they don't know what an SSRI is? The content knowledge has to come first. All right, I've hammered that point home, I think. And when I was planning out this approach with concepts of critical thinking, I thought, well, not every student gets to that level of a lesson, right? It's usually about a third. A third of our students just struggle grasping the terms. About a third of them understand the why. Okay, cool, I can make some connections here. And about a third, if that, get to the critical thinking and they're ready for some extension. So what about those 2/3 of students that aren't reading that critical thinking extension? When are we going to teach them the concepts? And that's when I had the idea, well, why don't I put them into a research methods unit? And so each concept gets one lesson where I'm going to explicitly teach, here's what you need to know about bias, here's measurement, here's causality. And I do that in a research methods unit that comes later in my course, not at the start, right before the IA. I used to teach research methods to start my course because that's what everyone did. And then I realized, hang on a minute, what? Students don't know any studies. They don't know anything about psychology. Why am I teaching them all this research methods? It's so abstract. When I just swapped that and had a brief 5-lesson intro, what is psychology, put the research methods later, I found it so much easier to teach because I can link back to all the examples of the things we've just taught. Hey, remember we looked at Gottman's research on the love lab? Well, yeah, here is the name of that research method that he used, right? And then we've actually got concrete examples I can use to teach the research methods. If I'm trying to teach research methods first, well, I'm having to explain those topics as we go. It's like double overload. So we put the research methods later, and in that unit, one lesson per concept. Now, wouldn't it be nice to have more? But our standard level courses are reamed for time. That's the best I can offer. That was the best I could plan. I think though, if we can save for a standard level course 3 to 5 lessons, higher level, you've got loads of revision time. Paper 3 doesn't take 90 hours. There's loads of revision time there. But for standard level students in your course, if you could aim to have 3 to 5 lessons at the end of your course, I think that's another really good time to address the concept. And instead of starting with the concepts, I would go with one research method or key term and then show how that is relevant to almost any topic and all of the concepts. So for example, correlational studies. By the end of the course, for students aiming for a 6 or a 7, even a 5, I don't think it's too much to ask that they can describe a correlational study. Okay, we measure 2 covariables and we calculate a correlation coefficient and we see how they're connected. They have to do this for paper 2 anyway. And then they can apply that to any topic, all right? Oh, we can look at causes of depression, right? So acculturation, or we can look at addiction, right? So number of ACEs, does that correlate with rates of addiction? All right, and they explain how they could do that and why. And then we connect that to the 6 concepts. Bias, well, how do we control bias from influencing our measurement of our covariables? How do we prevent bias from interpreting our correlation coefficients? Measurement, we're measuring covariables, right? Perspective, well, it's a pretty limited perspective. If we're only looking at 2 possible factors, right? We've got addiction and ACEs, for example, and then we've got 1 possible cause of an addiction. What are we overlooking, right? Causality, correlation does not mean causation. So my point here is that this, I think, is a far more targeted approach. Instead of taking the concept and going, hey, look, it's everywhere, it's all around the course, go, no. Here's the topic, here's the research method. Now, that research method can be applied to any of those 6 concepts. I like this idea of the concepts in the essays because what it encourages students to they have to understand, they have to know and they have to understand and then think critically. And that's the foundation. I call my thematic model of curriculum, right? Thematic, it's concepts, it's big ideas, it's sexy themes, right? But it's content knowledge, it's semantic memory, it's knowledge of things, and they have to be combined. They aren't exclusive from one another. And there's this debate or argument, it seems, in education going, well, do we teach facts or do we teach critical thinking? No. You have to teach both. You have to have the facts and the content knowledge to get to the critical thinking, to get the conceptual understanding. I think we can reflect that in our course. Build the content first and then the conceptual understanding, and that targeted revision for the exams comes later. Also, remember, the concepts aren't that important for paper 1. If we crunch the numbers, do the math, if they write really good SAQs and ASACs, the applied SAQs in section B, right, they only need to get a 10 out of 15 for the essay. Okay, and most of that essay is going to be based on the topic and their content knowledge. So I hope I've made some helpful pointers, some helpful tips on how to structure your course. It's put the content first, teach that, we bring in the concepts later, we can have targeted lessons at the right time in a research methods unit or at an exam revision unit. We can choose one concept. We also look at research methods or a key term in the course like triangulation, for example, or what the high level students are using in paper 3, credibility, triangulation, reliability, validity. Look how these can apply. They apply to so much research across the course and any concept. Okay, so I hope I've made sense here in explaining how I would go about teaching the concepts. I think the worst mistake some teachers are going to make is they're going to try to bring every concept in every lesson, and they're going to try to make the concepts a focus for their course, and it's going to feel like this ethereal thing that's in the clouds and it's based on dust. Focus on the content and bring the concepts in later, right? Content is king. All right, if that was helpful, please leave a comment. If it wasn't, or if you've got questions, let me know. Cheers and good luck.